Hey everybody, Phil Goldenberg here, and today I've got 5 tips that are going to help your classical guitar playing today. And I'm not talking about practicing for, 6 years and practicing all of your Carcassi etudes, doing all your Villalobos etudes, getting your technique just right. I'm talking about watch this video and you're better immediately. Just 5 quick things that you can change in your playing today that will make you a better classical guitar player. Now I know that some of you are going to be people who maybe just started playing classical guitar in college. Maybe some of you are like amateurs who have been practicing with a private teacher for a while. And I know that some people are people who play electric guitar or rock guitar and you've never played classical guitar before ever. And I've got something for all of you. So here we go, let's just dive right in. Tip number 1 is going to be use nails. So I know how it is. You don't even have to tell me. Having nails on this hand is a pain. It's not fun. You gotta live with it. It's a decision. But you know what? It's gonna completely change how you play guitar. Right hand technique, I can't even talk to my students about right hand technique really until they have a little bit of something going on with nails, because so much of right hand technique is how you use it, how you can use those nails, how you can stroke the string just right, get that perfect grip, get your contact point exactly right to make like a really amazing sound, make a loud, beautiful, clear sound. And that's all gonna happen with nails. Now I know that some of you are going to call me out immediately and say, well, I can't grow nails by the end of this video. But I'll tell you what, you can stop biting your nails, you can stop clipping your nails, you can stop breaking your nails. So this is still a journey of 1,000 miles, but today, right now, this video, this is the first step. One more thing that I love about nails is that your nails are your sound. Nobody can take your nails, nobody can copy your nails. You can do your nails in the same shape as David Russell or Scott Tennant or me or whoever you want, but it's not going to be my nails. My nails grow in a weird way. They have lumps and they have nicks and shapes, and all of that goes into my sound. And the way that your nails grow and the way that you shape them because of how they grow, that's all going to play into what makes you sound unique. Okay, now we're getting into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is fix your thumb, and I am talking about the left-hand thumb. So if I see this guy creeping up over the fretboard, over the back of the fretboard like this, I know we're in trouble. I know that we're in the danger zone right here. Now, I've got nothing against my main man Slash, but if I see somebody playing guitar, playing classical guitar, like they're about to bust out the November Rain solo, I know that it's not going to come out clear. Let's talk about it. Where do I actually put my thumb? Where do I put the left-hand thumb? And the answer to that is going to be between your index and middle fingers on the center of the back of the fretboard. So let's just go through a couple of the really common options that people do that are not this. So I see a lot of this left-hand thumb creeping up here like you're trying to grab these Jimi Hendrix chords. Well, it's not going to happen on classical guitar unless you're Andre the Giant. But if it's creeping up like this, guess what? All these fingers are leaning back. They're all leaning back. So when you try to play 2 notes at once, you're going to get this sound. That might be familiar for some of you. I know it's a familiar sound for me. And that means that your fingers are leaning back. And you can fix a lot of that by taking this guy, pushing him back to the center of the back of the neck. Just like that. Now the other thing that I see a lot of is I see a lot of people playing like this. Your fingers are over here, they're maybe on the 3rd fret, and your thumb is way the heck back here by the 1st fret. And I see good players doing this. Specifically, I see jazz players and rock players doing this. And that's all good and well if you don't necessarily need to play 2 lines of music independently. Same thing with that thumb, that Slash thumb. And when your thumb is back like this, really what you're doing is you're constricting your tendons in your hand. So watch this, and this is something that you can try at home. Everybody give me a thumbs up, and you'll notice that your fingertips are going to be drawn together like little magnets. And I'll tell you, this does not look like it's enough reach for me. For me and my left hand, I want a wider reach, a wider spread. So then go out of this thumbs up, bring it right here where Uncle Phil told you to put your thumb between your first and second finger, your index and middle finger, and you're gonna see that magically your fingers have all drifted apart. They're all a little bit more spread. And that's gonna help you get around this big old fretboard that classical guitars have. So fixing your thumb, we can change your technique. You can change your left hand technique. Give yourself that extra reach, that extra fret that you didn't think you had. You can do it like that, 1 second. All right, so we're about to jump into tip number 3, and tip number 3 is sit up straight, please. Just, come on, compose yourself a little bit. Compose yourself, get yourself together. Now, let's talk about how we're gonna sit when we play guitar. So, I see a lot of people, you're sitting around the campfire. This is gonna get you around the old G, G, F, E, C kind of chord progressions. I don't even know what chords I'm playing as I'm playing them. I guess that's how it is today. Had a long day. If you're trying to play some intense, crazy music, this is not gonna cut it. So, let's look at what's the easiest way for our hands to work, the most ergonomic, the most comfortable way for our hands to work. Now here's a little experiment that you can do at home. Drop this left hand all the way down and then bring it up to your shoulder. Now tell me, what's more comfortable? If your hand is like this, is it more comfortable here, or is it more comfortable here, or there, or there? I'm gonna hazard a guess. I'm gonna say it's the most comfortable right here. And you know why that is? It's a little buzzword that we use in classical guitar, and it's called the mid-range of the joint. So your joints don't want to be extreme. They don't want to be extended as far as they can go. Your joints want to be in a happy medium. So if you're like this joint is in a nice little mid-range here. This joint is nice and relaxed, nice little mid-range. All your joints are pretty much in the most relaxed way. And on top of that, you have a little bit of variance. You can go a couple of different places. You can have your neck this high. You could have your neck this high. You could have your neck here or there. But some places where you don't really want to have your neck is like here. Because look, this is now extended. This now is in an uncomfortable spot. Your wrist is going to have to twist if you want to have a good position for your neck. So those are all things that are going to go into playing classical guitar and how we're going to sit with the classical guitar. Okay, now tip number 4 is a little bit of a weird one. Tip number 4 is coming out of left field, and that one is sing, please sing. Even if you're not a singer, it doesn't matter what your singing voice sounds like. If you are a classical guitarist, one of the most important things that you can do in your practice is sing the melodies, sing the bass lines. What that's going to do is it's going to tune your ear. It's going to tune your ear into these individual lines, these individual parts of the whole thing. Now, everything that I've talked to up to this point has been technical. This is the first musical thing that's going to improve your playing overnight if you're not doing it already. As soon as you learn how to listen to those melodies and listen to that bass line, you know what? They're going to pop right out of the texture. And if you can intentionally pop your melody out of your technical work that you have to do on the classical guitar, that's going to make your interpretations much more deep. And I use the word deep intentionally because that's really what it is. So imagine that you've got all your volume sliders, right? That you're sitting at your desk and you're mixing and mastering all your parts. So here's your melody, right? Here's maybe your bass line. Okay, let's make that bass line here. And then maybe here's all those inner voices, all those little like boom, chuck, chuck. It's all over here. So now your interpretation is literally this deep on your little mixing board. So having a deep interpretation isn't just like, oh, he's so deep, he's thinking about, the deep topics of today. It's like, no, my melody is popping out, my bass line is here, my inner voices are here. I've thought about each and every part of this whole thing, and you, as the audience, just have to sit there and take it all in, because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be 1,000 times better. Just sing. Sing every day when you're practicing. All right, and now we've finally gotten to tip number 5, topic number 5, the last one on our list. And this one is for everybody. This one is for everybody, especially those who are just starting classical guitar, just starting to grow your nails. If you are one of those people, this is the number 1 tip for you. Number 5, make some noise. All right, so I see so many of my students who are just starting to get into classical guitar just kind of barely scrape their finger over the strings. And you know what? There's a reason for that. There's a real reason that people are doing this. And the reason is that you just started. You just started. You don't know how to shape your nails. You don't know that you gotta buff them out. You don't know how to exactly stroke the string. Your left hand, you're probably not using enough pressure. There's all sorts of little things that can go wrong. So when you play quiet, you can't hear a lot of that stuff. So magically, oh wow, I'm getting a really great sound when I just barely scrape my finger over the strings. But you know what? Get out of that mindset, because that's not why you wanted to be a classical guitarist. You wanted to be a classical guitarist because you love the sound of the guitar, and you're not actually getting the best sound that your guitar can make if you're just running your finger over the string. So what I always tell my students is, you don't want to move out of the way of the string, you want to command the string. You want to push that string around. You're going to grab that string and you're going to flick it out of the way. And that's how you really get that volume. Now what's going to happen is you're going to make a loud, ugly sound. But that is 1,000 times better than a quiet sound where you can't hear all that ugliness. All that ugliness is still there. It's just hiding. It's just bubbling beneath the surface, waiting for you to accidentally play loud. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, who was that? I'm putting him away again because that didn't sound too good. But no, get that ugly up. Get that ugly up, because once that ugly is out in the forefront of your playing, you can say, you know what, that's gross. And I bet that that's my nail. I bet that I can buff this little corner out. You know what, I'm feeling this catch right here. I bet that I can get rid of that. You know what, I'm pulling the string and it's slapping against the fretboard. I bet I should stop doing that. How can I fix that? And that's the kind of mindset that you want to be in if you want to experience real fast growth. And I know that you are, because you're watching a video called How to Improve Your Playing Right Now, which, by the way, is over. So I want to thank all of you for coming out and watching this video. If you liked it, if these tips were helpful for you, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate all of you guys watching, and I also really appreciate all of you guys who like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with all sorts of new content, new playing videos, and new videos just like this one, where I'm going to be just trying to break down some of the concepts in classical guitar. So that's it for this video. Thanks all of you guys once again, and I will see you in the next video.